This is YSM Sports Media. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification button for all future content. Show your boy some love, man. I'm out here working hard. Today, we're discussing the hypocrisy of Errol Spence Jr. and his fan base. First rule of physics: energy is neither lost nor destroyed. It is only transferred from one object to the next. With that being said, Terrence Crawford, along with family and friends, took to social media trying to smoke Errol Spence Jr. out, calling him a duck, saying he doesn't want to fight, saying he's making all kind of excuses. Now, Spence responded, but along with Spence, his fans used the excuse that Spence is just getting over being in a horrific car crash and that he's injured. Why is Crawford calling out an injured man? And I'm looking at it, let's rewind the clock, because I call bullshit. I call hypocrisy. Keith Thurman. If everybody remembers 2 years ago when Keith was nursing an injury, I think it was he had a surgery to his elbow, then a surgery to his hand. This is after the Danny Garcia fight. Spence, along with his fans, pressured Thurman, calling Thurman a duck time, saying he was scared, he didn't want no smoke. This is when they came up with the mantra, man down, free Smoke Jr. But now all of a sudden, they're respecting a fighter coming off of an injury. They even accused Keith of faking an injury, saying he's not hurt anymore. Somehow their energies change. Okay, we'll look at example number 2. Keith Thurman tells Errol Spence that he needs to get a belt and then he'll fight him. Errol Spence complained, saying he either wants to fight or he didn't, along with his fan base. So he went out and got a belt. And still no fight. Keith chose to fight Josito Lopez as a tune-up and then fought Manny Pacquiao. Spence fans laid into Keith. Spence laid into Keith, whether it was on social media, whether it was on interviews, still with the constant pressure. Enter in Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford is coming up from 140, saying he wanted Keith Thurman and then he wanted Errol Spence too. Keith is nursing an injury, so he laid his focus to Errol Spence. Errol Spence said, get a belt and I'll fight you. Now you're telling the undisputed champ at 140 to get a belt and then you'll fight him. Wow. But okay. But Crawford gets a belt. Still nothing from Spence. Still more side of the street, A side, B side talk. And I'm sitting back like, whoa, where'd the strap season go? Man down. What happened to all that? No? Funny, it was a different energy with Keith than it is with Bud. But that goes back to what I said to you. Energy is neither lost nor destroyed. It is transferred from one object to the next. So that energy that he gave out to Keith has been reciprocated through Terrence Crawford. And now Spence and his fan base have a ton of excuses. Now, for a fighter coming off of an injury, I don't say take a tough fight. I believe that you should take a tune-up and you should take time off. So my energy has not changed when it came to Keith, when it came to Kell Brook, and when it comes to Spence. But Errol Spence and his fan base didn't care about an injury before. They didn't. We want all that smoke. You're not injured. Let's fight. Okay, well, Spence said he didn't need a tune-up. All right, Bud should be next then, right? That should be the option. That should be the only option. You unify. It's strap season. You want all the straps. See, I hate hypocrisy. I hate switching certain narratives when it comes to different people. So if you want all that smoke, if it's strap season, if you don't care about injuries, do not switch it up when it comes to your favorite fighter, or when it comes, in Errol Spence's case, when it comes to different fighters. Don't. Be the same guy every time. Be the same guy. And Spence isn't the same guy. And he's being exposed. With that being said, I understand the business of boxing. I understand that it's a lot of things that hold up fights that's outside of the fighter's hands. But then you look at Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder. They're top ranked. That's Al Haymon fighter. And they're going forward with their fight. So there isn't a side of the street anymore. That means this fight should happen. So the people that accuse Kell Brook and Keith Thurman of having excuses shouldn't have an excuse, right? That's keeping the same energy, free smoke, staying consistent. So if Spence says there's no tune-up, that he wants to go right back into the fire, well, then there's Terrence Crawford. Al and Bob just put on a pay-per-view together, so it should be no issue for them to put on another one. And last I checked, Spence versus Crawford was supposed to be slated in 2020 anyway, so you might as well have it in 2020, right? Man down. Let's keep that same energy, fellas. But before I go, I want to send a shout out to one of my partners, Mybookie.ag. Best internet gambling website there is, Mybookie.ag. Click the link in the description box. You can bet on anything: boxing, basketball, football, baseball, you name it, UFC. Mybookie.ag. Let me know in the comments below, who do you think is holding up this fight? Is it Spence? Is it Crawford? And by the way, I got my Crawford video coming up next. YSM Sports Media. We out.